So with your water box, everything comes with the system that you need in your plumbing kit box. And what I want to do is usually lay out all of your plumbing in front of you to kind of show like how it's going to go before you even start assembling. It's going to make it a lot easier. So we went ahead and laid everything out here. And with your water box, and this goes for pretty much a good general rule of all of our models, is you have, and we're going to pretend like here's like your glass of your tank here, and this is what's in your overflow box. So you have your return line here with your return tubing and your output and nozzles, and then you're going to have two drains. This is your main drain that has the gate valve on it, and then this is your backup emergency drain. This drain allows you to have overflow of water if your main drain is clogged, if you have it closed too much, if you increase your flow. This is going to allow you to have all of that extra flow go down into the sump. And our plumbing is also designed to be completely, pretty much silent when you have it dialed in.
Yep.
And then one thing to kind of take note as you're unboxing your plumbing kit is on each of these parts that's going to go in the overflow against the glass is an O-ring. And this can easily be like fall out or be lost. So do be careful that you do not lose that. Keep that in place. You know, especially make sure that it's there before you actually put this in the overflow box, or you will have leaks. Same on the other side that goes under is you will have a rubber gasket. All of these here also have like a union connection so that you could take plumbing off without having to take it apart in your overflow box. And there's also an O-ring in there. So always make sure you have all those parts before you start plumbing. Otherwise you will have water. We don't want that.
And so you guys, when we say ready to assemble plumbing, this is what we mean. You're not trying to figure out which elbows you need. You're not trying to figure out which additional parts you may need to set up. You're ultimately just making 3 connections and your plumbing's set up and ready to go.
So what we have chosen to do is there's 2 ways that you can plumb your tank. If you can move your tank away from the wall, if you have a large 6 foot, it might not be possible, but for this one we can, is you can actually plumb it one person right behind it. If you cannot, you can actually have one person holding in the overflow box and the other person like holding from under the sump. But we're going to do it from the back just so that you can easily see how we're plumbing this. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and simple as this. So we are going right here. This part is going into the overflow box, and this is your return line with your gasket or your O-ring in place. And right through here, we are just going to hold the under the sump part in place, and you're going to just twist this. And basically you're hand tightening. You don't want to crank it with a wrench. You don't want to do any of that. Just enough that it is tightened by hand. And your one hand is holding under the sump while you're tighten from up and above. And we're going to do that for your main drain, which is going to be in the middle. Push that into place. And then.
So Jess, I want to mention the way that you're plumbing this shows that even one person can manage this. Again, if the tank's up against the wall and it's final home, you're going to need 2 people to hold the top and then 1 from the bottom. So,
yes.
But this shows you how easy it is to plumb. It takes just a few minutes. I saw some comments that said it is, you know, that's a lot of pieces, but there's not a lot of
it's really easy.
assembly.
Like I said, those gone together. I want to kind of show you 2 differences. Is this is a additional part for your drains that goes further into the sump. You can install them after the fact or put them onto it as you install it this way. It's going to be a little bit easier. I just want to show you one pipe without. And then this is going to be your backup drain, just to show you how it lengthens this one pipe, which does help with any kind of like extra splash and bubbles and stuff as well. So same with this one, simply just going ahead and tightening it here. Twist, twist, twist. All right, like I said, we're just hand tightening into place for that one. So you see you have your 2 drains here, your main one with your gate valve, and then your emergency. This is going to be your return. That's where your tubing is going to attach to. And then I'm going to use, what am I doing?
These guys.
Yeah, there. All right, so let me show you kind of something that a lot of people don't really know is in your plumbing kit, you're gonna get 2 sets of nozzles. And it's 2 that we would call duckbills and 2 round ones. The round ones are also actually considered like flow accelerators. And what the ideal scenario is, when you look at your return line, it's off to the left side, well, right side, here. So when you put this T onto, this side would actually get more forceful flow than this side. So in order to help kind of even that out, on the side here that has the shorter part, you would put the regular output, which is this one here, the flat nozzle. For the other side that has a longer way to go, you would use the flow accelerator, and this is going to increase your flow on this side so it matches more evenly, so that you don't have one part of your output on your overflow box stronger than the other. There you go. Those twist in. And boom. Your plumbing is done. And we can move this off to the side. And then, of course, you just have your return tubing, which goes onto this barb fitting here. And it does include your hose clamps that you do want to use. These are plastic, so they will not rust into the salt water. And you would clamp it up to there, and your plumbing is done.